What's up guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel Xman & Co. Today we're going to make the famous lamb ribs in the wood-fired pizza oven. Stay tuned. Let me introduce you guys to all our spices here today. Basically we've got some ground pepper here, some cinnamon, flaky salt, oregano, cumin is a must, got a little bit of paprika here, and your favorite barbecue spice. All the amounts will be in the description below, so be sure to go check that out. Without further ado, let's get on with this cook. So we're going to use a liquid today to complement this dish, and we're basically going to go for Merlot. The best pairing wine obviously is a Pinot Noir. We don't have that today, so we're going to go for second best. Even a Sauvignon Blanc, a good option to use as well. As a red meat, lamb inherently contains more zinc and iron than non-red meats. An ounce of red meat, grass-fed beef, and an ounce of lamb contains the same calories, but the lamb actually got more health-promoting omega-3 fatty acids. Basically, when we talk lamb rib, we're talking about a big piece of meat with some cartilage at the bottom and some bones in between, and it's really a tough meat in actual fact. But what you need to remember, this piece of meat, we've got a 3.5 pounder here today, about 1.6 kilos for the local guys, needs to be at a low temperature for a longer time. And that's exactly what we're going to do here today. Let me show you how to remove the membrane and to prep this beautiful piece of meat for the oven. Right guys, so let me just show you, there's a flap here that we can remove. Yeah, so we're just going to go like that. See, there's a membrane, that's what we were talking about earlier, so we're just going to remove that part. You don't have to remove this, I'm just showing you what you can do. Then we've got some fat here as well. Sharp knife, keep your fingers dry, keep them behind the knife. There we go. It's basically just fat, if you guys can see there. And then here's a membrane. Here it is, right there. So best way to deal with this is a spoon. Just get it in there. Hope you guys can see. Look at that. Look at that. That's exactly what we want to remove, like so. Normally you can just pull it away. There's another trick in some of my other videos I've shown you before. You could use a paper towel so you can get a grip on it. This should not be too hard. You're trying your best to remove as much of this as possible. The reason for this is you want to make sure your spices penetrate right through this side as well. Basically this membrane is stopping the spices from going through and penetrating the meat. We want to make sure that the spices can really get in there and infuse this whole piece of meat, not just from this side where the fat cap is, but also over here. Therefore, we remove this whole membrane as far as you can, obviously. And guys, that's exactly what we wanted. The next step on this beautiful cut of meat would be to cut our fat cap. We really want the fat to pop, and therefore we're going to cut it over here. Let me show you how we do that. So let's cut it slightly. Just open it up. Don't have to go too deep. There we go. If you guys can see there. We're not spending a lot of time on doing this. It's very straightforward. And then some of you might even feel to do this to the side. You can also do that. That would really make this fat pop. And there you go. Fantastic. That's all you need to do. Now it's time, boys, to spice this baby up. When it comes to spicing this bad boy, we've already got a beautiful fat cap here, so we don't need to add any more fat. You could use some olive oil, but we decided today to spice it up a little bit. We're going to use our favorite mustard sauce as our sticking agent. Let's do that. What you want to do is just rub this whole lamb rib in mustard sauce. That's going to just allow all those spices to stick to this beautiful piece of meat. You just want to make sure that this lamb rib is properly covered with our sticking agent. There's no right or wrong here, boys and girls. There you go. Fantastic. And once it's properly covered, we know this one's good for spicing. We're just going to add all our spices into one bowl. Then you just want to mix them all up. There you go, that's perfect. Right guys, then you just want to spice this lamb rib. I don't think at this stage you can overspice it. Be liberal. It's a big piece of meat. It's normally around about 3 pounds, you know, if you do a full lamb rib. I'm not a fan of rubbing. I like to pat it in. Make sure it goes in everywhere. This one looks absolutely divine. Lastly, we want to sprinkle some flaky salt. It's also going to help on the fat cap to render, so don't be shy. We do have some salt in the spicing, but we can add a little bit more. Now it's time to get this beautiful piece of meat into a nice tray ready for the oven. Let's do that. some spray and cook, oil, whatever you have available for yourself. This is a big piece of meat. Right guys, we're just gonna get it in there. There you go. Now we need to add some liquid here, just to make sure it doesn't dry out at the bottom. And we're gonna use our Merlot red wine. Let's do that. You wanna make sure that it's nicely covered at the bottom. You just want to cover the bottom. There's gonna be some juices, remember, from this beautiful piece of meat. This is just gonna add to all the fat that's gonna render, go to the bottom, and you could use that as a sauce later. Now this bad boy is ready for the oven. We're adding a couple of bay leaves just before we're putting this beautiful dish in the oven. At this stage, guys, it's in the oven. We're going to give it 3 hours. We most probably will come and check on it in about 1.5 to 2 hours. We're not checking any internal temperature in the oven is basically 140, 150. That's what we're aiming for, low and slow. Remember, we want a juicy lamb rib. That's what we're aiming for. So, see you guys in a bit. It's been about half an hour since we started with this cook. And now it's time to cover this dish completely. Right guys, it's been about 3 hours now, and now it's time to remove this beautiful lamb rib that we've got here cooking. Guys, this has been 3 hours in the wood-fired pizza oven. It looks absolutely divine. I don't know if you guys can see, but look how soft that is. I'm gonna let this rest for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then you and me, we're gonna dig in, you're gonna watch, I'm gonna taste it. It's gonna be fantastic. It's time, it's that moment. Let's cut this baby up. It's not really cutting, it's just, look there. It just slides through. Look at that, guys. Look at that. I wonder if you can see that. This is going to be absolutely divine. It's just breaking apart. Look at that. I can just remove the bone from that. Hey? Boys and girls, cheers. Enjoy. Oh yeah. This is what it's about. Wow, this is amazing. This is absolutely the bomb. Guys, you know the story. If you like what you're doing, like, share, subscribe. Enable those notifications so you get notified as soon as we upload new video. Thanks for watching. We cannot do this without you. We'll see you on the next one.